Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars because Chris Rock made a joke about his wife, Jada. I want to talk about it, what's right, what's wrong, and I'll do that based on three principles. The last one, no one is talking about, so do watch it till the end. Quick summary of events. Chris Rock, during the Oscars ceremony, made a joke about Jada's look by comparing it to G.I. Jane. Will Smith seemed to have laughed initially, but then probably after seeing that the wife wasn't exactly laughing or maybe upset by it, or for whatever reason that triggered him, he got up, went to the stage and just slapped Chris Rock. Chris Rock still kept it fun. He said, "Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me." Will Smith then comes back to the seat and shouts, "Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth." I think Chris Rock says, "I'm going to," and still just kept it cool and casually went on to announce the next category of awards. That was amazing. He even finished the Oscars properly. Later, apparently, he even went to an after party. Now I'll get to my opinion on this. I'll start that with my first response. When I first heard the news, I couldn't believe it. My girlfriend told me, "Did you hear about this Oscar controversy?" Like, what controversy? Will Smith slapped Chris Rock on the Oscars. What? Nah, that's not possible. She then told me why it happened, and the skeptic in me still thought it must be staged, like it has to be fake. She was like, "No, it isn't. Everybody's talking about it." I really couldn't believe it. See, I don't know much about these two people personally, like who they are in their personal life, but I am a big fan of Chris Rock. Will Smith, I've found him cool since my childhood, like since Men in Black. His presence in media also seems very joking and energetic. Now, of course, I had heard about some problems in his marriage, but if you had to ask me what his overall temperament was, I would have said he's a chill guy. And that's why this didn't make sense to me immediately. Like, for example, if you hear Salman Khan slapped someone, yeah, I mean, could have happened. If you hear Kanye West slapped someone, you're like, of course he did. With Will Smith, I didn't have that reaction. But who cares about what my perception of Will Smith was? These perceptions are anyway very incomplete and non-nuanced. And then as soon as I accepted the news, okay, this happened, it made me a bit angry and disappointed. Like angry about what Chris Rock had to go through, disappointed in what Will Smith did. And overall, there was my judgment that clearly Will Smith is wrong here, not Chris Rock. And I made this judgment with absolutely no details actually. Like up until then, I didn't even know what the joke was. But I decided right and wrong based on certain principles, which I'll discuss soon. Actually, Jada Smith is going through this condition, alopecia, where there is loss of hair. So when Chris Rock compared her look to this G.I. Jane movie character, in a way, Chris Rock made fun of her medical condition. Like it's understandable that she might not like that joke. It's understandable that it's a sensitive point for her. So if she's angry that someone is making fun of her medical condition, I mean, her anger is natural, she's human, happens to the best of us. And in this case, Will Smith also becomes angry because it happened to be his wife. You can see where they're coming from, but that doesn't mean it's the best reaction to situation. So I'll discuss three principles or values that I believe Will Smith violated here. First principle is, do your best to take jokes on you in the spirit of jokes. That is, remembering that the main intention is to laugh, not to be serious. Jokes are jokes. As much as possible, they must be taken lightly. Now, I know sometimes jokes can really get to you. Like Chris Rock has actually made jokes about Jada in the past as well. So there are chances that Will Smith feels he's targeting her, or maybe he didn't even have time to think about all that. He just saw her upset and got upset right there. But what he should have remembered was, jokes are jokes. At most, jokes are opinions. Some jokes don't point to reality, some jokes do. Whether it's a joke or an opinion, it's our duty to develop tolerance for words. So you can treat jokes at many levels. Like if you genuinely think that it's a joke and it's a funny one, then learn to laugh at it regardless of who it's targeting. Like you must develop the character to laugh at yourself. What that means is people will make jokes about your weaknesses, about things you are insecure about your mental health condition, about your physical health condition. The way to respond is to not shut them up. The way to respond is either joke back, or if it's too much, either tell the person personally that you don't like it, or just disconnect from the person. If it's a public thing, respond back publicly. Worst case, you find out that the other person intentionally wants to insult you or ridicule you, where you almost sense bully behavior. That's definitely much harder to deal with. But remember that if it's a real bully behavior, people will come to your side. A real bully ultimately gets criticized and isolated. You just need to actively involve other people and be patient. quotient. And in this case, even though Chris Rock made a joke on Jada a second time, nobody really thinks he was being a bully. He was at most pushing the line. People did laugh as well. They weren't like boo. So if other good, nice people can laugh at a joke, so can you. Second, and the main principle that he violated was never be the one to take verbal conflict to a physical one. This is simple. Hitting someone for their words is just completely unacceptable. There is no excuse for this. Even if someone is spreading hate speech, you go to the law. There are certain lines that must never be crossed in civil society. You should never be the one to take a fight from the zone of words to zone of hitting. Never, ever, ever. This was my biggest disappointment with Will Smith. Like, hitting someone is not heroic. It's barbaric. Like, if we allow hitting as a viable solution to resolve fights, I would want to go to Mars and live alone. Third principle which got violated is the one which no one seems to be talking about. The principle is the main hurt person must be able to lead dealing with the situation. Jada was the main hurt person. She should have gotten the opportunity to decide the response. Some people are even making it an issue of a woman doesn't need a man to defend her. Jada could have handled it herself, but I disagree with that criticism. Of course she could handle it herself, but I see no problem if Will Smith does it for her, if he chips in. Like, if Will Smith had helped her prepare for a movie role, we don't exactly say that, oh, she's independent, why can't she do it herself? That would be silly. A husband is allowed to help her wife. A husband is allowed to carry out the wishes of her wife. But my question is, was it really Jada's wish though? We are not clear on that. What did she signal to him? I still have no idea. So I'm only guessing that Jada didn't actually tell him to go hit him. She just got upset and Will Smith took it upon his own will to avenge her. And that's where I feel he violated this third principle. I mean, it's even possible that he embarrassed her by doing this. Who knows? He made it about himself. The main person who is hurt must have the sense of control on how to deal with the situation. You can't hijack the process of justice, even in cases of severe crimes. Like, if you hit me so hard that I go to the hospital, if you steal money from me, even if you sexually assault me, if I choose for some reason to completely drop the charges against you and move on, the law cannot do much, as far as I understand it. Like, I guess if I die, then someone can pursue the case on my behalf. But if I'm living and breathing and I choose to let it go, I think law cannot pursue it. Now, I'm not a lawyer, there could be exceptions to this, but for regular situations like this incident, this definitely applies. There will be times in your life where, because of your own wisdom and values, you will find yourself angrier than the real victim. But it's still not wise to completely dominate what the victim should feel or do, much less acting on their behalf without permission, especially in some extreme manner. And because he violated this principle, look at what's happening now. People are not talking about what Jada went through because of that joke. The whole world, including myself, are just talking about Will Smith. This is definitely not ideal. Summary: first, both Will and Jada Smith should have tried to take the joke in that spirit. If they really couldn't take it, they could have criticized it later personally or publicly. Second, Will Smith definitely should have never hit him. Third, Will Smith shouldn't have acted so extreme on her behalf. Is there any other principle that you think was violated? Please do mention in the comments. And if you like this video, do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon.